Earlier this week, President-elect Trump spoke on the phone with the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, and there's nothing inherently newsworthy about that. An incoming president making contact with other world leaders is pretty standard. The problem is Trump and President Sheinbaum seem to be having a bit of a Rashomon moment in terms of what they talked about and what was agreed to in this conversation. This is an article from NBC News by Hannah Peart, dated November 28th, 2024. Headline, Trump says Mexico's president promised to close the border. She begs to differ. After the phone chat late Wednesday, Trump wrote on social media that the Mexican leader had agreed to stop immigration through Mexico and to the United States. Just had a wonderful conversation with the new president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. She has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border, he said in a post on Truth Social. It was a very productive conversation! Exclamation point! So enthusiastic and so productive. Not even president yet, and he's already talked to the Mexican government into closing the border from their side. That's great. Except, according to the other person on the phone, she would be the president of Mexico, that's not what happened. Continuing with the NBC News story, Sheinbaum's account differed from Trump's. In our conversation with President Trump, I explained to him the comprehensive strategy that Mexico has followed to address the migration phenomenon, respecting human rights, she said on X, which is what fascist geeks call Twitter. We reiterate that Mexico's position is not to close borders, but instead build bridges between government and people. So, as I see it, there are three possibilities that account for this discrepancy. First, Trump is lying, and it's definitely that one. But another possibility is that President Sheinbaum's explanation of what Mexico is doing in response to the mass migration problem was nuanced, and Trump was just too much of a dipshit to understand what she said. And so he just assumed that she said whatever he had wanted her to say. And it's also definitely that one. I adopt a position of quantum uncertainty when it comes to explaining why Trump said something untrue. It's equally possible that he's lying and that he's incapable of comprehending whatever he's talking about on a fundamental level. And in any given situation, the explanation could be either of those things or both of those things simultaneously. So if the specific explanation is unclear, I just sort of assume that one or the other or both are the reason why Trump made a false statement and get on with my fucking life. But there is another possibility, however remote, however vanishingly unlikely, and it's this: it's possible that President Sheinbaum is mischaracterizing her conversation with Trump. Perhaps she gave Trump reason to believe Mexico was going to close the border, even though she has no intention of doing that. Perhaps she intentionally gave Trump that impression, and now she is lying about it after the fact. Hence my earlier Rashomon reference. I didn't just say that because I'm a simultaneously insufferably pretentious and painfully pedestrian film nerd. I said it because it's an apt metaphor. We weren't there. We don't know what was actually said. We only have Trump's account and President Sheinbaum's account. We may never know the truth. And why should we trust this Sheinbaum woman anyway? What do we even know about her? Sheinbaum, a physicist and climate scientist who was elected earlier this year, is a member of Mexico's leftist Morena party, which was founded by her mentor and predecessor, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Okay, I believe her.